Hello everyone, this is Mumbo and welcome back to another episode on the Hermitcraft server. It is episode 52 and today we are starting things off in my free diamonds area that I've created in the Brown District on the Hermitcraft server. For those of you who have missed the previous two episodes of Hermitcraft, you have seriously missed out because we have been doing some serious redstone and also some serious building, as you can see right here. Now unfortunately for me, the previous episode of Hermitcraft hasn't actually released yet, so I haven't been able to see the feedback on your comments of what I should do with this place. But I have to say, I do quite like it. However, we do appear to have a witch. We've got a witch in the walls. We'll quickly get rid of her. And I guess I should probably do some lighting up there. Yeah, we'll stop that from happening. And of course, this area right here, we definitely need to deal with at some point. We will do something cool with this place. Perhaps we can add a slightly different shop or maybe some other gambling machines in this area. But for now, I'm going to be covering up this place. And we're going to be popping back over to the RV, back over to the Olicopter, because that is where we're going to be working today. So my original plan for the start of today's episode is I was going to do a bit of a mining challenge. You know, the ones where I go away for an hour and I do a bunch of mining and then I come back, tell you how many resources I get. That was going to be my original plan because of course we are running fairly low on resources once again. Seem to just be flying through diamonds at the minute. But then I decided to go inside at Cubfan's skull shop and I've noticed that he has got some of these little fellas. As you can see, he's got 1, 2, 3, well, he's got 9 wither skulls, but we're going to be needing 3 wither skulls because, of course, we want to make ourselves a wither. So I'm going to pop back through, I'm going to pop back through into the RV. I'm going to pick up the diamonds that I have, which I think this is actually going to be all of them. I'm then going to construct a wither, and I'm going to automatically kill it, because unfortunately, I'm not too good at that sort of thing. Okay, I'm going to have to be super careful here because of course I've got all of the wither skulls on me, but I now also have a bunch of soul sand, and False Symmetry has just popped by to show me how to use the automatic wither killer, because as you guys know, I'm the sort of guy that would be a total spoon and manage to spawn a wither that is just completely free in the nether hub and it would destroy everything. So I do believe it is up here, and I think you have to place it on this block. So I'm just going to quickly ask, I'm going to clarify. So place on this block, like this, 100%. Maybe we should ask before we do this, because we really don't want to break anything. Now guys, if this goes wrong, remember, it is totally False Symmetry's fault. I have absolutely nothing to do with this, but I am going to break these blocks right here. And we are about to give this a go. Alright, okay, so it's like this, and then I chuck the skulls in like this, and here goes. We're gonna say fingers crossed. Oh my word, I'm so scared. That looks good. That looks promising. I think this is good. I think this is good. I'm so scared. He does seem to be taking damage. Oh. My word, my heart was fully in my mouth right then. I was so very scared. I guess we can do some damage to him. Good stuff, good stuff. Awesome. First wither on the Hermitcraft server, and we are taking him out nice and easily. As you can see, obviously, you know, we are doing it a bit of a cheesy way. Let's try not to anger the pigmen. That would be very bad news. But excellent. This guy should be done soon, and we'll get ourselves a nether star, ready to make ourselves a beacon, and then we can get all of that haste to goodness. Fantastic news! So finally, after about an hour and a half of faffing around in total, we have got our beacon, we've got all of the iron, and also we've got 28 diamonds because, of course, first off, Wells Knight has dropped over the profits from our bone barn. We managed to get 5 diamonds from that. We got 20 diamonds from Iskall for the villager, and I also picked up 3 diamonds from my chest. So already we're doing pretty well, but what I'm going to do now is jump off the edge, make sure I actually have my elytra equipped, and we are going to go down underneath the ground around about here. I think this will be a pretty good spot. So what I'm going to do is I'm now going to mine downwards right the way down to y equals 11, maybe y equals 12, and we're going to start clearing out that entire area, the entire radius of the beacon, just completely cleared. So here goes, final few blocks are going in now, these ones, and these ones. Then we need our beacon, and we should see a beam go right the way up into the sky any second now. There it is. So we can chuck a piece of iron into this thing, and we're going to go haste 2, and we're going to tick it. Right, okay, that is now done. So we've got everything set up. As you can see, we are now fully insta-mineable, which is amazing. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do your standard 1 hour long mining session. I want you guys to let me know down in the comment section how many diamonds, how much iron, gold, coal, lapis, and redstone you think I'm going to get in this 1 hour session. Take into account that we now have a much more efficient way of getting these resources. And 1 hour later, I will come back and I will let you know how well I've done. So guys, welcome back. I hope that you enjoyed that little time-lapse footage right there. And I have to say, this technique right here is spectacular. It is absolutely full-on, categorically insane, amazing, 100 times better than any other mining technique I've used. As you can see, we have got ourselves over 2 stacks of diamonds in that 1 hour, and I've also got 10 diamond ore right here, which I'm actually quickly going to mine out using my Fortune 3 pickaxe. So let's quickly place these things down and see how many we can get from this one. So we'll just chuck these in. There we go, and let's see. We're getting pretty lucky so far, so that takes our total up to around about 2.5 stacks. 2.5 stacks of diamonds in an hour. That's more diamonds than I think I've ever had in my entire series on the Hermitcraft server, and we did it in an hour. Oh, I don't even know what to say. I don't know what's happened to the server. I don't know what's happened to the server. I think we're having some kind of crazy day cycles right now. Time might be traveling faster. Is it the end of the world? I don't know what's going on. So now, hopefully, if I have enough levels, we should have mending on our pickaxe, which is right here. So Silk Touch, efficiency 5, that's good. Whoa. Maybe we won't have enough levels for that one, but the Elytra, we should be good. So 1 Elytra, mending. Alright, that's a tiny bit more doable. Let's head over to the Ender Render. We're now fully geared up with a bunch of stuff. We've got fully repaired Silk Touch pickaxe, efficiency 5, unbreaking 3, and mending. And of course, we've got the mending on our Elytra as well, which is perfect. Now we're going to be heading back over to the industrial district to continue work in the area that we've literally just been in, because I spotted something while I was mining that actually has got me very, very excited indeed. And it's something that I actually want to work on in today's episode, completely unplanned, but I imagine we're going to do well. So as you can see right here, just above the area that I mined, we have got 1 skeleton spawner right here. This is the dungeon. These are all of the loot chests, which I've already taken a look through and grabbed some of the records from. But this thing is currently active. Of course, we've got torches on each side, so nothing spawns. But so there we go. We've got ourselves 1 skeleton spawner, which is pretty good. That's pretty good going. But if we walk down here, we also have ourselves another skeleton spawner. This one right here is now active as we walk in, and this one can also produce skeletons. But the only thing that I will say is that they're sort of not connected. As you can see when we walk into this central section, this one unloads, all of the fire goes out, it's obviously not spinning, and this one is also currently unloaded until we walk to about here, then it all switches on. Now that's obviously a massive pain in the backside. I'm really upset about this because obviously I didn't test this out beforehand, but I thought when I stood about here, both of these would be loaded, but by the look of things, that isn't quite the case. I've tried a bunch of different bits and pieces, I've walked up and down, and yeah, sadly, it doesn't look like this one's going to work. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop into a redstone testing world and see if there's a way that we can load both of them like alternately, so using like minecarts or water to make this thing function in a way that's more efficient than a single skeleton spawner. It's going to be a fun experiment. So this is the experiment world that I've created. Now I hate to say it, this has taken far, far longer than I ever expected to create. But on the one side, we have got the double spawner. This is what we've got on the Hermitcraft server. In fact, this is the exact spacing that we have on the Hermitcraft server between the two spawners. Then on this side, we have got a single skeleton spawner. Now, the plan is that I am going to leave this running for around about 10 minutes. I'm going to have one log on this side right here. They're going to be standing here. They're going to be loading that mob spawner right there. And they're going to be dropping down onto the bottom, dropping their items into there. And I'm also going to have another account logged in over here, in a minecart, traveling around like this, occasionally loading one of them and occasionally loading the other one. And we're going to try and work out if this design right here is more efficient than this design, and if it is it worth all of the extra effort that is involved with hooking up these two mob spawners? This should be interesting. I've never really done this sort of thing before in a Hermitcraft episode, but I thought it was worth doing. This thing has been running for the best part of 20 minutes now, or maybe about 15 minutes. And we are about to find out the results. We are now in peaceful mode, so hopefully nothing should be spawning from this thing. So, first things first, we have got this massive design up at the top here. Let's see what we get. Alright, so around about 2 stacks of bones and near enough 2 stacks of arrows. Remember how much is in this one, because now we're going to compare it with the single mob spawner. Let's see. What? That's not what I was expecting. They are basically identical. Like, seriously, almost identical. This one has got a tiny bit more resources. Well, no, it's got more bones, but slightly less arrows. They are identical. That is totally down to luck. I imagine if we did the same thing 10 times over, they would have like an equal win-loss. That is very, very interesting indeed. So there we go. There's some Minecraft science in the middle of today's Hermitcraft episode. We are still going to be doing this project though. However, we aren't going to be constructing this design right here. Obviously, that would be a little bit silly, having just looked at the results. We are going to be building a single mob spawner, and we are going to be using some magma blocks to actually make this thing work. Just as a quick pro tip, holding 2 pickaxes at the same time actually makes you mine faster. Despite what you may think, it works wonderfully. Just trust me. Now, because of course we don't need the double skeleton spawners anymore, we can actually build this anywhere we want to. And I was messing around the other day, you know, when I was building all of the hoppers for our item transportation system, and I actually went straight past a skeleton spawner. Didn't have any torches or anything like that, so I blocked it all up. But now we are back on our way to find it, and I think it should be somewhere around about, oh, there, right, okay, it's right there. Alright, okay. I'm now going to have to take these guys on. I've got all my best stuff on me. I've got a bunch of pickaxes. I've got the whole lot. I've got 4 diamond pickaxes. I mean, why do I need that much? I don't have my beacon, which is good. That's currently set up at the top there. But let's see if I can be a professional Minecraft player. Maybe drop down a level and start work on wiping some of these guys out. This is actually going to be a little bit more complicated than I first imagined. And is there a zombie back there? That's not too bad. Okay, and alright, I think we should just about be able to manage on this one. I do believe I have now spawn-proofed the entire area. In theory, no skeletons should be spawning in here. So now what I'm doing is I'm clearing out all of the walls, making way for our mob spawning area. Now this place is going to be 11 by 11 by 30. Now we're going to do a falling trap right here. So from the top here, all the way down to the bottom, it should be 30 blocks in total, I think, potentially, maybe. I'm probably going to do some maths to work out the optimum, most efficient way of doing things, but it's going to be something similar to that. So that is quite a large area to be mining out right here. We've done a lot of mining in today's episode, but that seems to be one of the most efficient ways of killing them, because of course, they just drop out, fall straight to the bottom, land on some hoppers, their bones make their way into the hoppers, then into a chest or some form of item elevator. So this is the space that we've got to work with. I'm quickly going to cover up this wall right here, just to make it look a tiny bit better. And then I guess I should probably get down to business and actually start clearing out this place. So naturally, while I was in the process of mining this thing out, I've actually come up with a better idea of killing off our skeletons. So as you guys know, originally I was going to kill them through falling, which was, well, it's an efficient way of doing things. Obviously you drop them right the way down and they die instantly. But there is a slight issue there, and that is the fact that you have to mine out a massive hole, and also the entire bottom area here would have had to have been hoppers, or at least hopper minecarts, which wouldn't have been particularly intelligent. So what I've done instead is I'm going to have water going right the way across like this. That's going to push our skeletons across here. They're then going to land on magma blocks, which are going to have hopper minecarts going back and forth underneath them, picking up the items and dropping them off in the chest at the end. I think that seems like a better option to me. So, in theory, I should now have pretty much all of the items required to build this thing. Just one more minecart, then we need to create hopper minecarts, and then we'll be good to go. So 3, 1, 2, and 3. Then we have got all of our powered rails, we have got all of our magma blocks, we have got 1 water bucket that is soon to be 2 water buckets, so that you can make an infinite water source. And I think that should be it. I think. You never know with these sorts of things. I've probably forgotten something, probably going to be back here very shortly, but I'm just going to cross my fingers and hope for the best. So guys, we're now adding the finishing touches to our mob spawn. As you can see, we've got all of the water in place. We're now going to be chucking in all of the powered rails on all of the magma blocks, which are hopefully going to be killing our skeletons, then dropping their items into the hoppers, and they're going to make their way into the chest. So we just need to run these going all the way across the bottom here. They will then be powered by this redstone block. Everything's looking a little bit dark at the minute, but that's simply because, of course, you know, it needs to be dark. We need these things to be spawning. So here we go. And there we go. So that is our item pickup system done and dusted, I hope. We've got a chest out the back that's going to be picking up the items. Eventually we're going to run this into the mega storage system that I have in the industrial district, but for now it's just a double chest. That's going to fill up very quickly, but now I just have to take out a few blocks and we're going to throw in all of the magma blocks. And I'm trying to think what would be a good way to actually do this, because of course if you stand on the magma blocks you're probably not going to have the best time. I would say maybe place in some scaffolding going all the way across and then gradually place in the magma. Now let's see, we've got 33, which should be the perfect quantity. So these are going to be going down here. Yeah, I've totally made a mistake already. So the magma blocks are now in place, the water is in place, the hopper minecarts are in place, the minecart rails are in place, everything is running down into the chest. So now all there is to do is take out all of the torches and hope that we don't get knocked off our little pillar here by a skeleton. Now that is a very real risk. It seriously is. We're on a very precarious little ridge right here. But I'm just going to try my best to stay alive. Everything is getting a little bit darker though. We'll cover up all the blocks as well as we go. Right, okay, that's good. These ones as well. Just about reaching there, just about. Alright, let's take out these blocks. And take out the final few torches. So this one, this one, this one, and this one. Okay, we got some skeletons spawning. They have just fallen down into the bottom. They are being damaged by the magma. And he should die really quite quickly. Oh! There we go. It seems to be working. I think our system is actually functional. Sweet. I'm going to cover up these blocks. I'm going to take a look at what sort of drops we're getting in the chest. Then we can go on a bit of an AFK session. So by the look of things, this appears to be working. You can see the items are making their way into the chest. That's all good. Now what we have to do is head up to the top. And I'm going to go AFK maybe overnight, potentially for the next couple hours. You'll find out in the next clip. Okay guys, so it is now next week. Yes, there has been a large number of days since the previous clip. And unfortunately, I haven't been able to do too much on the Hermitcraft server over these days because I've been incredibly busy. And also, funnily enough, I have actually been out and about doing various other bits and pieces, which is very nice. But we're back on the Hermitcraft server. I ended up doing about maybe, I'd say an hour of AFKing, I think. I'd say maybe an hour to an hour and a half. And we have managed to get a decent quantity of bones and a decent quantity of arrows. In fact, I'd say it was only about an hour. So this is pretty good for 1 hour. And also an ender pearl. Apparently we've had an enderman spawning inside the skeleton grinder right here. But yeah, this thing seems to be working really quite nicely. If we AFK here for a long time, whilst loading this place and also the melon farm, the pumpkin farm, the sugarcane farm, and obviously all of the wheat, carrot, and potato farms that we're going to be building in the near future, we're going to have like a seriously efficient industrial district. So that's something that I'm very looking forward to, because that should be pretty amazing. But unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, that is all I've got time for today. I'm actually recording this clip on the day that the Hermitcraft episode is releasing. It is currently Wednesday. This episode is going out on the Wednesday, which I don't do particularly often. And also, I just want to say, I do apologise for this slightly all over the place episode. This was a more unplanned episode. I started recording, I thought, hey, it would be fun to get a wither. Let's get a wither. And then, of course, we killed the wither, and then we created the beacon. We did the entire mining session, which was pretty massive. That was a really good one. But then, of course, we discovered the skeleton grinders. I was like, is this going to work? I did a bunch of testing, worked out that it wasn't going to work with the 2 skeleton grinders. So then we found a whole new skeleton grinder. We built the skeleton grinder. And now we've AFK'd and managed to get ourselves a ton of bones that we can use inside the farms. Basically, it has been like a good-sized episode, and I'm pretty happy with what we managed to do. But it has been a little bit all over the place. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please sure to hit that like button. And if you really loved it, then make sure to subscribe. And thanks for watching, guys. This has been Mumbo, and I'm out. I'll see you later.